Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of October 9th, 2025. The current character challenge is Luchador Bane. That is a 1 week repeat. The required characters for that are Wonder Woman, Nightwing, and The Flash, who are available as low as Silver, Bronze, and Bronze tier, respectively. His passive is Feel the Pain, which is upon tag-in, Bane has a chance to stun his opponent, and receives a 25% boost to all damage for 4 seconds. He's got 1,100 attack and 800 health as his base stats. He was last available just about a year ago, September 26th of 2024.
Yeah. So he's got pretty low stats for gold, especially a challenge gold. So that 1,900 combined base stat is lower than, for example, Arkham Origins Bane, lower than Arkham Knight Harley Quinn, lower than Aquaman. But what's particularly striking is that his health is lower than a lot of other characters. So Insurgency Joker's got 850 health. Arkham Origins Joker, Mortal Kombat Scorpion, Batman Returns Catwoman, Red Sun Solomon Grundy, Animated Harley Quinn. I mean, she's not big stat in any sort of way that you'd think about it. Mm-hmm. He's got less health than her. Red Sun Deathstroke, Beyond Batman, or Batman Beyond. And Ares, for example, has 900 health, which is more, and he's got 1,200 attack. So he's got overall 200 more combined base stats, and he's considered relatively low stat. Mm-hmm. So Luchador Bane was the OG glass cannon. Now, he's not just a good card with low health. Back in the day, he was also particularly devastating.
Yeah. He was one of the few characters that could conditionally just absolutely shred a team, like make a fight feel like it was over almost as soon as it started.
So he was introduced before the League of Assassins Knives. Mm-hmm. Chance of stun was well over 50%. I want to say it feels like about 75% if he's got nothing else that will also stun. The last few times we had him in action with maybe more discussion, you can go back to recaps from November 17th, 2022, September 14th, 2023, and September 26th, 2024. One of our unconventional options was stacking both Cloak of Destiny and Necron Scythe for stacked boosted stun, and you give him Tentu Totem to reload after each tag-in or after each knockout. And there's a bunch of sort of other non-traditional loadouts. I guess, well, I'll talk about the traditional loadout later, but I feel like a lot of people have seen that, so it's not as big deal. The issues with Luchador Bane are potentially numerous. One is, what if he doesn't stun? What if he doesn't crit? And what if your opponent has a revive? Mm-hmm. Those are sort of his vulnerabilities. In previous demonstrations, what you saw was basically the same team composition we're using now with Hawkgirl and Batgirl, but with a different gear loadout, stacking boosted stun damage when we had both Cloak and Scythe, and Tentu Totem. We did a lot more discussion in our Q&A Season 9, Episode 37, about why that works so much better in the current meta. This time, today, we're actually using the traditional loadout. So, League of Assassins Knives for a special 1 boost and splash damage. Cloak of Destiny, which independently has a chance of stun and boost to his damage if he stuns and if he crits. You could also try Necron Scythe, which doesn't have a chance of stun but gives him a revive if he knocks someone out. And then the last gear we got on him is Tentu Totem for bar of power when he tags in immediately. If you don't have Tentu Totem, Razzle Glow Scimitar is a not awful alternative. And sometimes you can get away with sort of a freebie, because if you have Batgirl as a teammate like we do here, you could use your 3rd slot for Lexor Gauntlets to increase the crit chance in Special 1 up to 40%, and chance of stun maxing at 30%, so that you're almost guaranteed a nuke, but then you're sort of uncovering even more weaknesses if you don't have Tentu Totem on him. Mm-hmm. Both Batgirl and Luchador Bane actually are really good with that particular loadout. So the hardest decision used to be, who do you give that gear set to if both are on the same team? And with Necron Scythe, you can have both, like you were seeing here. So the main danger of the strategy is, if you're relying on Bane to do all your damage, he'll stun most of the time, but if he doesn't stun, or if he doesn't crit, or if the opponent has a revive, you're going to be ready to take some damage or get knocked out. Mm-hmm. And one non-traditional loadout we've used, an alternative non-traditional loadout, is Enchantress Companion Gear as your 3rd gear after Cloak and Tentu. Because even if it does nothing else, that one ability of the Flying Skulls it works as a disabling of the opponent's specials. Also gives you health, which normally we don't care about so much, but Bane can always use a little bit of health. He's a low health guy. Same vulnerability, so Enchantress is equally effective as the same kind of solution. It doesn't prevent your opponent tagging effects after you knock someone out, but it buys you time while doing a decent amount of damage. And if we're talking opportunity cost, the problem with the Enchantress Skulls is it isn't crit chance like Lexor Gauntlets, it isn't more stacked stun damage like Necron Scythe, and it isn't splash damage like League of Assassins Knives, but it doesn't come with the vulnerability that you have against Brandished in Shadow. It makes up for it with the skull damage, and it protects from tagging effects, which Knives do not. It also enhances your special too, giving more options to fight, because sometimes, like we talked about on Tuesday in our Q&A, sometimes you want to be protected against Rebirth Raven tagging in and stealing all your power. So if she's one of the opponents that might tag in, sometimes you don't do special 1, sometimes you do special 2, and she won't steal your power. And that's worth more than just doing splash damage.
So there we go.
Oh, playlist. I'll link it in the description with Luchador Bane, where you can see all the different team compositions we've done, all the different gear loadouts that were effective for all those different fights. The funny thing is that before Cloak of Destiny came out, before Cloak of Destiny even existed, we already had 3 videos of him. He was interesting enough, even when you couldn't boost his stun damage.
Still worth playing, yeah. So, in terms of the challenge cycle, there was one cycle for a really long time. It changed a little bit, added a bunch of new characters, and then it seems like otherwise has been unchanged, and we are in the second repeat of that new updated cycle right now, as far as we're aware. So next week we expect to see Blackest Night Hawk Girl. Importantly, though, this is the point where they went from alternating characters that didn't used to be in, characters that and characters that we were expecting to see in the challenge cycle.
Right.
And they went back to just all the old characters.
Right.
So next week there is some small but increased chance that something different happens, right? It's sort of a piece of information. We might learn that it's just or it looks like it's just the same cycle again.
Right.
And we might learn that they're adding new stuff in and they, for whatever reason, like took a break and then let the cycle run once and come back. So it's hard to say. It's very likely that it will just be what we expect, but it's hard to say for sure. This week's multiplayer reward is Cassandra Cain Batgirl. Her passive is Assassin's Ambush, which is on tag and Cassandra Cain attacks, causing opponent to lose 25% of current health. She starts with 1,150 attack and 950 health. She's last available on the 6th of March, 2025. We expect to see Metahuman Flash next week, but it could be Soul Taker Sword, because there was a little bit of a deviation and a switch up with this cycle as well. So if it's sort of we had just 2 things kind of jump out of order, and then everything else was normal.
So if it's the out of order version, we're getting Metahuman Flash, and if it's going back to the original repeating cycle that was there for years, it's Soul Taker Sword.
Yeah. So next week is a bit of a weird week in terms of our predictions, but it'll be instructive. It'll give us good information on future months and years.
Right. So, we like to say Cassandra Cain Batgirl is lowish stats, but if you compare it directly to Luchador Bane, right? Cassandra Cain Batgirl's got 50 more attack base stat, and she's got 150 more base health.
Yeah.
So along with Ares, she was one of the first multiplayer character rewards, which is why her stats are so low. They were actually pretty good when she was first released. Another interesting thing to note is that her passive is just the one ability, unlike a lot of the newer multiplayer character rewards that have multiple abilities in their passives. 25% is a decent amount of health reduction. Keyword, current, and not maximum. That means it's impossible to knock someone out with their passive, unlike, say, Teen Titan Raven's passive that can knock someone out after her special completes and has a chance to steal 25% of the max health.
Yeah, so the passive actually ends up not feeling that good because it's only really useful when a character is fresh, and very quickly it goes down to feeling kind of piddly, right?
Right.
So it feels worse than it reads. Like the actual playing of it tends to have very little impact on the outcome of a match.
I mean, you could lean into the tag and damage a bit, right? Because Claw of Horus, I think, gives you another 10%, and that 10% can knock out the opponent. One thing I like about her, she is very fast on her basics, and I think she's faster than any of the other Batgirls, but that's just based on feel. She's got the special one like all Batgirls with the stun front-loaded, so she's a good candidate using Cloak of Destiny or Necron Scythe. But, this is a really important but, her passive will break the tag and stun. If you are lucky enough to get it from Cloak of Destiny, it just doesn't count. It breaks it, and you can't get the stun damage, so there's a chance for the opponent to block again when you do your special one. So that stun ability, that 20% stun on Cloak of Destiny, it's totally wasted on her. So if you've got someone else on the team who could benefit from the Cloak, use it on them. Give Batgirl, Cassandra Cain Batgirl, Necron Scythe. Because she has such a powerful special one when she's geared the way we like to gear Batgirl, and her passive reduces opponent's health down to 75% of the original amount, she often doesn't need more than Tentu Totem to be the special specialist, just like we're doing with Luchador Bane and Batgirl Prime this week. They really only need that 1 bar of power each time you take it, so it frees you up to have 2 special specialists. And I guess I'm trying to think, if you add Enchantress Companion gear with Claw of Horus, you can have a secondary special specialist that's super effective at stripping gears off the opponent. And if you... So there's just so many possibilities when you have 2 special specialists. It's good opportunity, say, for Aquaman, right? Because you don't even need to have somebody who does a lot of damage when they can bleed out. Having a little bit of variety makes some of the games more fun and easier to win every time. So despite her having low stats, she's still a pretty good card. Her passive scales up to her opponent. And despite her shortcomings, I still like her a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there we go. Moving on into the store, we've got the Blackest Night Hot Girl pack for $24.99 Canadian. Price in Canadian because that's the information we have access to.
Yeah. And that's the only currency that matters.
There you go. I thought you weren't going to say it for a second.
It was a tease. It was a tease.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a corroborate included next week. It doesn't come with credits. So it's the especially overpriced because it's the more expensive version of the pack, and normally when it's that price, it comes with 100,000 power credits. So doesn't unlock a copy in your store, so not worth it.
And so that's the only pack that I know is new for this week. The other 2 packs, I mean, the problem I think was that we didn't track it for last week. So we have 2 other packs. One of them might have been last week, but definitely one of them is new.
Yeah, so we've got the character bundle Woman of Power for $24.99 that comes with Arkham Knight, Harley Quinn, and New 52 Wonder Woman. And we also have the Femme Fatale pack for that same $24.99, and it comes with animated Harley Quinn, who you can get from the store, Batgirl, who you can get as a challenge, and who was missing for a while and only recently came back, and Wonder Woman 600, who is also a challenge character, but who remains missing.
Yeah.
So
back when this pack was available for power credits, I think my personal opinion was this is one of the best packs. Team that had really good synergy together, but also that you could break them up and make other teams.
They had good synergy, but they didn't have force synergy, importantly.
Yeah. And I mean, animated Harley Quinn being in the store, when you're only paying power credits, it didn't hurt so much to pay for this pack.
Phantom Zone is finished, and it will be done for next week as well. And then it'll be back for another 2 weeks after that. Fight 62 is broken, doesn't work. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was Raven, Superman, and the Arkham Knight. So this coming weekends should be Killer Croc, Harley Quinn, and Martian Manhunter. We have a link in the description to a thread from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. If you want to check that out for yourself. As far as current glitches go, we go into more detail every time something significant changes, which did not happen this week. We do it once a month no matter what, though. And most recently, that was last week's recap.
October 2nd.
Yeah. You can always see a video tutorial for every working glitch in our playlist, current working glitches. That's in the description. It's in the eye in the top right corner of the video. It's in a playlist on our channel. It's other places, I'm sure, maybe. Maybe somebody's downloaded it and put it on a USB drive somewhere illegally.
Yeah. How will we ever...
It's impossible to say.
How will we ever deal with that?
The main thing worth mentioning is that the challenge reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's Luchador Bane challenge.
Right.
And that'll do it for this week. To finish up, we'd like to give a huge thank you to our lovely patrons on Patreon. And this is, it's a thing we do every week. So it's a pattern, right? But it's not just something that we get into a comfortable rut with. It's like a genuine thank you. Like every time I say it, there is a non-zero amount of appreciation in my mind and my heart. I'm like, it's cool. It's cool every time. So that's a huge thank you too.
Michael Devries, Irvin, Ruiz, Hoshi 127, Nora Klimek, and Miguel, who are all supporting us on the credited level.
So there we go. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks to you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.